G'day, everybody, and welcome to We'll Never Be Royals, the podcast where we talk about royal people. I'm LK and that's Rossy. Hey, mate.
G'day.
Mate, how's your shit?
Well, we have some news, don't we, LK?
We do. Yeah, twinsies.
Just going straight for it.
Yeah, you can say it because I feel like this you have had this news for longer than me.
Okay, well, guys, we're here to tell you that LK and I are having twins, and not in the traditional sense where someone births two babies, but I'm having a baby and LK's having a baby.
Yeah, and we didn't even plan it. So this season we'll be talking about babies because it's all we think about, but like royal babies. But obviously our banter will be pregnancy centric because this is a miserable experience and people don't talk about it enough, even though they talk about it a lot.
Yes.
Fair?
That is very fair. So apologies in advance if you just are not interested in babies, but yeah, look, we're going to talk a lot about royal babies, you know, their cute clothes, their nannies, all kinds of shit.
Yep. Yeah. Great. But it's not going to be a parenting advice podcast, don't worry. Because we don't know how to do that.
No, we don't.
No.
I personally have not thought at all about the birth or actually raising the child as of yet.
Oh, nah. Why would ya? Those seem like they'd be pretty shit.
Also, guys, we honestly did not plan to be pregnant at the same time, and we might do a special ep where we share our journey to pregnancy separately, but we are 2 days apart and we are on the race to squeeze our legs together to see if we can make it on Queen Elizabeth's birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, amaze. Wouldn't that be amaze? Oh. Speaking of, and not to launch into royal news, but
Let's go.
are we concerned that it's the beginning of the end for Biz, given her recent hospital stay and the fact that she's old as balls? But she is going to Scotland next week for this environment conference.
Oh, I thought she wasn't. I heard she wasn't going.
Oh, I heard she was going.
Oh, well, let's check the internet. I reckon she should give her seat to Wills anyway. Like, time to pass the baton.
Well, I think he's already I think they were both going. Oh yeah, no, you're right. She is going to skip it entirely. Look, that's for the best. She doesn't need to be out and about right now.
No, I agree. But yeah, look, when the news broke that she was in Hossy, I was like, oh, this is it. This is it.
You know all the shit that's going to happen on the day she dies? I mean, not to be morbid, but like, we're all definitely going to get the day off. There's going to be flags flying all over the place. The radio is going to lose its shit. Did we do that episode? I think we did do an episode on what happens when she dies.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, it's going to be a hectic day, but mate, you're not going to get a day off. You're in America. They don't care.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I might just take a mental day off. In my mind.
Okay.
Also, not to bring it back to pregnancy, but my productivity is not as it used to be. And I would just like to apologize to all the listeners and all the people that have had to view us on the Instagram stories for the last 15 weeks or so. We have not had our shit together.
We have not. Look, LK has had a much harder time than me in terms of the first trimester wobblies, but it's bloody hard growing a bloody human, isn't it?
Oh, my sister-in-law said to me, who had a really rough pregnancy, she was like, here's the trick. You just got to eat mac and cheese because it tastes the same going down as it does on the way up. And I thought, that is disgusting. There is no way. And now there might be something to it.
I think that's great advice.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus. Anyway, so this season we're going to talk, as Rossy said, royal babies, royal nannies, royal child scandals, secret sons and daughters, everything youth-based we're going to chat about, and we're going to try and not be assholes to actual children. Fair?
It's our hope. Sorry, one more royal news thing that is also actually baby related and you related. What about our gal Megan, who has written to her pen pal Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, asking them if they could do her a solid and consider paid parental leave?
Ugh, mate, I've never loved her more. I've never loved her more. Um, because as someone going through the whole maternity leave saga in the United States, everything is fucked. Everything is fucked. Everything's
Mm.
fucked. Like, let's light this country on fire and start again because everything is fucked. And we need Megan to save us.
I think it's somewhat worse for you because you are Australian and Australia has quite good parental leave benefits that the government supports. And we're not even one of the best countries like Scandinavia. Ooh, they've
Oh,
got great systems. But
oh,
America, yeah, you guys need to hurry the fuck up with that stuff.
I mean, don't get me on my feminist soapbox, honestly. Um, Also in royal baby news, a Paz. I don't know if this is true or not because it's from the Sun, but apparently Harry and Meghan have not introduced beers to Lilibet yet, and everyone's dirty about it. Also, I can't speak.
Didn't they go to London though? Or
Yeah,
was
look,
it?
I thought they went to London and had a christening, but the Sun's like, nah, none of it happened. He's never met this baby.
Mm. I
Mm.
mean, travel's tricky. The Queen's sick.
Travel's not that tricky when you have access to private jets, though, is it?
Yeah, but they shouldn't be, using the private jets because, Glasgow.
That's a really good point. You're damned if you do, damned if you
I
don't, hey?
know. I know.
Ugh, wow. Oh, in other royal news, just real quick, have you been paying attention to this Japanese situation?
Oh, yes. Great pickup. Yes, let's talk about that.
Okay, here's my understanding. The Japanese princess, so the Japanese monarchy is quite conservative. They're still only doing the male heir rule. Everything's very tradish. There's a lot of bowing, a lot of palaces. Uh, there's no Diana sitch where she's taken him to McDonald's. Anyway, the princess in 2017 decided she wanted to marry this average bloke, and everyone was like, "Oh, I don't know." And then they announced their engagement.
Sorry, can I just interject?
Yeah,
She met him at college and they fell in love. It wasn't just like she was like, I'm gonna, go against my family and just pick an average bloke. Like there's a romantic connection, is my understanding.
but yeah, I think they really do love each other. Good input. Anyway, they announced their engagement. Next minute, the press find out that his parents are divorced, and apparently there's some shady payment that went down between his mother and his stepdad, and there's a whole big scandal, and they had to call off the wedding. They had to call off the wedding. And so this week they got married in the courthouse, and she loses everything, and they did it because they love each other. And she basically wore a blue, like, not a pantsuit, it was like a pantsuit but a skirt, and I respect it.
Yeah,
And they're in New York.
so they're moving to New York. She gave up her, her royal title and her dowry, which was like astronomical apparently. And but I don't know, isn't that kind of good? Like
Yeah.
she'll be successful still. She's still, very educated. She can go and make her own life in New York. How fun. How amazing.
Yeah, she's gonna have the best time.
Yeah.
Proud of her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hooray for love. Right?
That's where we edit it right there. Hooray for love.
Oh, it's good to be back. Have you got any other royal news, mate?
Nah.
Great. Great.
None at all.
Okay, let me take a drink real quick.
Although, no, let's not. If we start talking about Kate's clothes, we'll be here forever because they're bloody good, and she's just one after the other. Just keeps, churning them out. And I was a little bit concerned for a while that our Instagram page was just turning into a Kate fan page. Like, I was like, shit, I need to put something else up here.
I mean, mate, whatever gets the eyeballs. No
Oh,
shame.
well, it's Kate in her bloody clothes.
I mean, good for her. I like to think that now that the kids are a bit older, she has time to focus on her, and her true passion, which is fashion.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think there's a bit of pressure on her to be the new trendy one, and she is staring down the barrel of queendom. So I think she's been told to pull up her socks. To be honest. Anyway.
Yeah, but she's doing it in such an interesting way. Yeah, I'm really, yeah. Anyway, okay. Pegging it. We'll revisit it next week.
Okay.
Yeah. So this week we're going to cover royal nannies and a few notable ones of history. You and I have both worked as nannies, actually, haven't we?
Yeah, you were in the job for a lot longer than me, and probably much better at it. But yeah, I did a little nanny stint.
Yeah, I was quite good actually. Um, yeah, and that's all we have to say about that. I
Yeah, I
mean,
do. I do remember you like feeding the child Twinkies a lot.
yeah, I'm not so great on the nutritional front because I don't like confrontation. So, wow, that could be a sign of what's to come.
Not to like throw you in it, and
Yeah, yeah. Thanks. But the royal nannies have to go through like anti-terrorism training because they might get kidnapped.
that is a good idea.
Yeah, I thought it was too, and they have to wear those TES uniforms. Have you seen them?
They look quite old and conservative, right?
Yeah, they're just made to make these sort of young hot women look as terrible as possible. They're
Yeah.
like poo brown with a black belt, and they're like there's no shape to them. It's like a scout uniform. It's like a scout uniform.
Is it like a white shirt with like curved collar as well?
No, it's a dress that's all brown.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's no good. It's no. I'm gonna send you a picture just so you have reference. Hang on.
Thank you.
Oh, and there's a hat, and it's no good. It's no good at all. But you're right. They do have sort of a rounded collar and gloves, but I just love your take on this. Hang on, I'm sending it to you on
Okay.
Messenger.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I've seen them. They actually look quite military like.
Yes, yes. I suppose because anti-terrorism training, you got to
Yeah,
blend in.
and you work for the crown. Like you're
Yeah, but
basically a
most
serviceman.
yes, but some of the people that work for the crown, according to the crown anyway, get to wear like nice suits with tails on them.
Yeah, the group they call the suits.
Yeah, yeah,
The men in grey.
that's right. Woo! Anywho, there's two notable nannies that we're going to talk about.
Okay.
The first is Biz's nanny, who is the original sellout, and the second is Will's and Harry's nanny, who you know
Okay.
a little bit about. Do you know anything about Biz's nanny?
No, I don't. Tell me.
Okay, her name was Marion.
That's
She
a
was
real nanny name.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry to anyone named Marion who's listening.
Yeah, it's a good name. I mean, her name was Marion Crawford, and they called her Crawfy, which is adorable.
It is.
Yeah. So she was Scottish, and I think like the nannies are always connected. Like I think if Diana wasn't princess, she could have been a nanny. Like you kind of have to be of the peerage.
Right. Got it.
Yeah. And so she was hired when she was 22 to look after Biz and Margaret, and this is before they were going to be before they were like heirs.
Right. So they
Like
were
when they
quite young.
yeah they were young. Um, and then when they moved to Buckingham Palace, she felt quite bad for them because it was like living in a museum, and so she created a special girl guide troop just for the two of them, and like
Oh,
got it officially registered so they could like participate in Girl Guide activities and earn their badges, which is fucking adorable.
That is adorable. Good on you,
Yes,
Crawfy.
yeah, good on you, Crawfy. Um, and the job was pretty good. Like she got a house on the grounds that she could live in rent free forever, like forever. She just lived there. So
Amazing.
yeah, so that was a good perk. But the shit part was, um, she was forbidden to get married or leave until Elizabeth got married.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, which is shit because Elizabeth was 21 when she got married, and let's assume that Crawfy was maybe 20 years older than that. And so she's just waiting around.
Wow, that is commitment to the job.
Yeah. I mean, you do get a house, but
Yeah. And
yeah,
we did that episode on Elizabeth I, and she lived a very long time because she didn't have a husband or kids.
heard that. Anyway, so Biz gets married to Phil the Greek, Obby. And then old mate Marion can finally get married. She marries this kind of shady guy who like is a bit there's some like murky financial stuff that's not really clear. But let's imagine he's like a used car salesman type, you know?
Okay. Yeah, but I
Just
mean, there's slim pickings when you're 40 plus in the bloody, what is this, 1940s,
yes,
50s?
I think just early 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got to wear that uniform. Like, can't be
I wonder if she like has a naughty one that she like cuts up and makes all slutty for the
done.
evenings.
Oh my god. Stop it. Stop it. Oh my god, and she just wears the hat and like and
I
keeps the
reckon. I mean, that Girl Guides thing, that's pretty innovative. I reckon Crawfy's into that kind of stuff.
wow. Wow. Anyway, so she just got married and then Biz and Phil the Greek go on their epic like world tour for their honeymoon. And it gets all this global attention in the royals again because previously people didn't care that much. So
Mhm.
suddenly there's all this press interest. And the Ladies' Home Journal, which is like the Woman's Weekly, I assume,
Right.
approached the palace and they were like, hey, we'd love to write a story on you. Would you be willing to grant interviews? Yada, yada. And the Queen Mum, who handled all that stuff, was like, no, we don't give interviews, but you could, if you wanted to, speak to our former nanny who's just left, as long as she doesn't use her name. Like she can speak to the article and be a source, which is like the first time they'd done anything like that. And
Okay.
so the article comes out and it's sort of unclear what happened, but they use Marianne's name, which is bad.
Poor Crawfy.
Poor Crawfy. And the royal family are like, fuck you, we're disowning you. Like, we want nothing more to do with you. How dare you? You've ruined our life. You're the worst. Even though they were the one that passed the opportunity on to her.
And she didn't publish the article. It's out of
No.
her control.
Yeah, that's what people assume. And so there's all this argy bargy, and then Mariam was like, "Well, fuck this! I'm gonna write a tell-all book then. Like, if I'm out,
I'm
I may as
out.
well be really out." Yeah. So she wrote this tell-all book about all the Ed and Wallace stuff, and it was very scandal. Yeah, all this shit, and this is like before people sold out. So she was like
Wow.
23. Yeah, yeah, and she was just totally ostracized. And apparently later on, she said that her husband made her do it because it was their only income.
Yeah, fair
And
enough.
yeah. And then he died, and she bought a house like in Balmoral, like on the gates of the castle. And so the royal family had to drive past her house every day, but they never once acknowledged that she existed. And then she made several suicide attempts, and it's not clear
Oh,
how she died in the end, but it may have been by suicide, and it's just all very sad.
oh, poor Crawfy.
I
I
know.
like 100%. Let's put that book on our book club list because I reckon it'll be a ripper.
Oh, it's called The Little Princesses.
Oh,
She looked after the little princesses. You
it's
get
good.
it?
Yeah, it's It's a good title. Well done,
Yeah.
Croft.
It's written in the 50s, though. Sometimes reading stuff from the 50s is a bit dicey.
Yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah. But anyway, we might give it a bell.
Yeah.
So poor Croft.
Yeah, that is shithouse.
Yeah, it's no good.
But the Queen Mum, she was a bloody old battle axe, wasn't she?
Oh, I think she was a real bitch.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Which, I mean, someone's got to be, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, don't you leave that up to the bloody, private secretaries?
Yeah, I guess.
I
Unless
mean,
they
I
really.
would. If I was in that
Yeah.
position, I wouldn't be like, you
Oh,
know.
mate, I'd be giving everyone Twinkies and be done with it.
How to Win Friends and Influence People by LK.
Yeah.
Give them Twinkies.
Oh, God. Um, yeah, Croft. So you got to be careful as a royal nanny because there's no fucking around. No fucking around.
Oh, I wonder how Biz feels about her too. Like she could never lose that fondness of her because I mean, essentially in those days, that woman raised her. It wasn't her mother or her father. It was Crawfie.
It was Crawfie. I know. But then to have, it's kind of like a Megan and her dad situation to have that person sell out to the press. Even though
Yeah,
she wasn't really doing it about Biz, like Biz was so young, she's doing it about Dave and Wallace, really. But still.
yeah. Like there would be no scandal on Biz.
No, no.
What she cracked the shits about going to girl guides once. Wow.
That was one of the things that he said about Biz is that, like, she never cracked the shit. She was just always very full of responsibility and very calm.
Wow.
Margaret cracked the shits all the time.
Of course, Margaret cracked the shits. Yes. Oh, Biz.
God bless her.
Oh, that
Yeah.
makes me sad about Biz because that's it. Like when she was, in the Hossy, there was a couple of news articles or news stories here. Like that's it. It's the end of the monarchy. She kicks the bucket. Like no one else has that sense of duty or responsibility. It's all over Red Rover.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I mean,
Yeah.
Charles could come good.
Oh, Charles is useless.
Yeah, but he's useless enough. You know, if she's done all the work to kind of set up this system, he just has to sit there. He just has to
Yeah.
sit there and not like do an Andrew.
Not to an Andrew. To be honest, he's probably so boring that that's never going to happen. Like it's just him and Camilla forever.
Yeah, I think so too. Though, that's actually a nice segue into our next and final nanny.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. I don't know how to say this name. I probably should have looked it up. It's Tiggy Leg Burke. You've heard of her, right? I think it's Leg. Is it Leg?
Tiggy
L E.
leg.
It's Legge is the surname. How do I pronounce that?
Oh, yeah, leg.
Yeah, we're gonna say Leg. So Tiggy, let's just call her Tiggy from here on out.
Yeah.
Tiggy was Wills and Harry's nanny.
Yep.
So we'll dive into Tiggy. Her mum was lady in waiting to Princess Anne in the 80s. So she was
Okay.
pretty. And any British person with a hyphenated last name is like, you got to assume they're hooked up, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Um, she went to the same finishing school in Switzerland as Diana.
Oh, fancy. Okay.
Yeah. So she's like, upper crust. And then actually, like Diana, after leaving school, she took a job as a nursery teacher. Just
Wow.
like Diana. Yep. And oh, sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was just going to say cut from the same cloth.
Exactly. The difference being that Diana was then proposed to by a prince, and Tiggy set up her own childcare centre called Mrs. Tiggy Winkles.
I mean, that's great. Good on her.
Yeah, yeah. It must have worked out well though, because after Charles and Diana separated in 1993, Charles hires her to be their nanny.
Okay.
So that's quite a jump. Like it must have, Mrs. Tiggy Winkles must have been quite high class.
But Mrs. Tiggy Winkles has a bloody slutty nanny outfit.
Oh, you know she does. I mean, we'll get to that.
Okay.
So Diana instantly hates her. I mean, as you would if you know you're dealing with that situation and some other woman's looking after your kids.
Mhm.
Um, the early controversy was that Tiggy told the press, um, "I give them what they need at this stage: fresh air, a rifle, and a horse. She, meaning Diana, gives them a tennis racket and a bucket of popcorn at the movies." And I think that was meant to be a diss.
Right. Yeah, I would think so. In that world, like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She also called them her babies a lot, like my baby.
Ooh.
Can't be doing as a former nanny, you can't be doing that.
Nah, don't be doing that.
No. Um. So here's also so Diana's pissed immediately. In October 1993, Diana wrote to her friend Paul Burrell, who I think used to be a butler. Is that him? Anyway,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, she wrote to him and said, "I think Charles is in love with Tiggy and he wants to marry her." Like, I think that's what's happening. That's why
Right.
she's the nanny. Yeah.
Right.
And Tiggy later came out and said, "Oh yeah, I used to have a crush on Charles, like when I was a kid, and he used to drop by, just like Diana kind of did." Because
Mm.
again, they're like the same person. Weird.
Mm.
So then in January 1996, newspapers named Diana as the source of a rumor that circulated that said Tiggy had become pregnant by Charles and had an abortion. The rumor wasn't true, but it started somehow, and the press think it was Diana. And then apparently, because Martin Bashir was trying to get the interview with Diana at that time, he used it to coerce Diana into getting an interview. Like, you need to speak up about this.
Ah, clever Marty.
Clever Marty. And then apparently at a party, when they were both at the same party, she said to Tiggy publicly, "I'm so sorry about the baby." So everyone would hear, even though I'm pretty sure there was no baby.
Oh, that's
Mm.
that's 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 quite good, Diana. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, what a move.
Yeah.
So, the Queen was at that party, and apparently she was mad because she probably was on the outs with Diana anyway, but she totally sided with Tiggy. And so, after the party, Tiggy used the Queen's lawyer to write to Diana's lawyers and demand an apology.
Oh
And I went,
my
right?
goodness.
And this is all happening while she's looking after the kids.
Wow.
I know,
Wow.
fascinating.
But and what's happening with Camilla? Is Camilla still married at this point? Pretending that she's
Yeah, I
in
think
love with
Camilla's still married at this
yeah.
point. Yeah, with
Okay.
what's his name? What was his name? Tom?
No,
No,
that's her
that's
son. I think it's Andrew, isn't it?
yeah. I think it is Andrew. Why wouldn't it be Andrew? Apparently, was a heavy smoker
Oh.
and could ski while smoking.
What a
Incredible.
good skill.
I know. And people used to diss her because she used to smoke around the boys, which I
Mm.
guess was kind of okay in the 90s, but I think we were wising up.
Yeah.
Um, oh, this is sad. So when Diana and Charles were separating and the press were all up their butts. When William was 13, he was graduating from like his whatever school thing. And he told both his parents not to come because it would just mess with the press. And instead, he invited Tiggy. Like
Oh.
he was who he trusted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Isn't that?
tough.
That's tough. Yeah. It's real tough.
Yeah.
Anyway, the press hated Tiggy and they always thought she was going to get fired, but she never did. She retired in 99 when they would have been old by then. I think they were probably like teenagers by then.
Uh-huh.
Um, Neck minute in December. Remember when Muhammad Al Fayed was like, "I'm going to open an inquiry because I think Dodie and Diana were murdered"?
Yes.
Remember that? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
100%. I mean, that poor bugger probably still on that horse. Tough. Is he dead now? Anyway, may you rest in peace if he's dead. Oh dear. Um, so there's that whole hullabaloo. While that's happening in 2007, this letter is unraveled from 1993 that Diana wrote to Paul. Again, Paul,
Mhm.
we think is the butler.
Yep.
He wrote in this letter, "This particular phase in my life is the most dangerous. My husband is planning an accident in my car, brake failure, and serious head injury in order to make the path clear for him to marry Tiggy. Camilla is nothing but a decoy, so we're all being used by the man in every sense of the word."
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's Tiggy. That's the story of Tiggy. Like, what a shit show.
Wow. I mean, I feel like Tiggy did herself no favors, but like not a great position to be in. Like you could not have won that anyway.
No. So do you take the job? Like, if Charles and Diana are separating, come to you like, "Hey, mate, can you raise the kids?" Do you take it?
I mean, if you're a nanny and you've got your own bloody childcare center, Miss, what is it, Tiggy Winkles?
Yeah, Mrs. Tiggy Winkles.
Like, there's no higher honor than looking after the king, the future king's kids. You'd say yes, 100%. You'd say yes.
Yeah, you would, and I bet the catering's amazing. Like it'd be pretty good. Also, what's going on in your background? Are you living with a parrot?
Oh yeah, I can hear that too. I think it's just a bird outside.
Okay.
I thought it was just my brain for a while, just like.
Yeah, you would probably take it, but it'd be one of those jobs that you take a deep breath before taking, I reckon.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Wow.
Yeah, wild. Um, and then we've got a new game. Not to speed us ahead immediately, but we do have a new game for this season. It doesn't have a name yet. I think it should be called like Royal Baby Trivia or something, but something better than that.
RBT.
RVT, yeah.
Which
And it's
I don't know if you have that in America, but in Australia that means random breath test.
aha, good. That's good. Put me on the spot. RVT. Yeah, we should make a song.
There's
RVT.
actually
Anyway,
a television show here called RBT, and it's literally just the cops pulling people over,
oh
breath
God.
testing them, and you have to like guess to see if they're over or not.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
Wow.
A whole TV show. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the RBT game is where I ask you one royal baby trivia question
Uh huh.
and you have to guess the answer. It's quite simple.
Great. 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 Great.
Okay, Rossy, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. Can you guess the heaviest birth weight of a royal baby throughout history?
Oh, okay. So I have to state the weight.
No, sorry, I asked that question wrong. Scrap
Oh,
that. Edit that out. Okay, Rossy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
This fucking bird is like I don't know. It's just stopped. Maybe it's dead.
Oh,
Yeah, carry on.
yeah, it is. Yeah, wow. Maybe it was mate. It's a mating call and it got some.
Maybe.
This,
Maybe there's going to be
yeah.
bird babies, baby birds outside my house now.
Oh, that sounds cute, but I bet it's fucking annoying.
Yep, I bet too.
Anyway, Rossi, can you name the heaviest royal baby in history?
The heaviest royal baby in history. Okay,
That,
I at birth. Okay, I assume it's probably a recent baby because, um, there wouldn't be like an olden day baby because they, come early and stuff. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
I've no
Quick to
reason
get
to
it
think.
axles.
Yes. I don't know why, but I think it may be Louis.
Oh, very good guess. Because Louis is actually the heaviest born to an heir.
Damn it.
Yeah. The heaviest is bloody Zara's daughter Lena was 9 pounds 3 ounces.
Wow, that is a whopper.
It is a whopper, but our friend Mool, if you're listening, had a baby that was like, I don't know, 1,000 pounds or something. It was really big.
It was
Nothing's ever told.
I think he was nearly 11.
Yeah, that's too much.
Like before she even gave birth, the doctor said to her, that baby is going to be over 5 kilos, like just by looking at her.
Oh, oh, wow.
Anyway, thanks for letting
Yeah,
us do that, Maul. Sorry.
well, um, I've got some other birth weights here. Charles was 7 pounds 6 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew was 7'3". William was 7'1". So a lot of sevens. Seven must be the lucky number.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common baby weight, like around 7.
Yeah, and the smallest was Louise, who's a bloody Edward and Sophie. She was 4 pound 9 ounces.
Oh, she must have been a preemie, was she?
I think she might have been. This is in 2003.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy to think. Like that's the year we finished school, and that's when Ed was having his first baby.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
He's such a late bloomer.
I know. Also, way to date us. Do you know how old how long 2003 was ago? It was really a long time ago.
Yes, mate. I don't I look, I don't want to tell you this, but we're on our way to 40. Like it's happening.
Yeah. Fuck. I feel like someone should have warned me.
Like I just had a birthday and I remember when I was getting in my late 20s and people would put like joke things on my Facebook wall, a cake with 30 candles, like happy birthday, like I was going to be 30, like as a joke, and I'd be like get stuffed. And now it's they're starting to do that for 40.
It's a good joke.
No, it's not.
Oh, Christ almighty.
Only you and my cousin think it's a good joke.
Is it your cousin Chook?
That's not my cousin Chalk. It's my other cousin.
Oh, God. Um, that's all I got. What do you got, mate? I mean, you don't have to have anything because I'm detailed.
I was going to say I've got nothing. I'm not prepared. I didn't even Google royal nannies because I wanted to learn all about them.
Oh, good. Yeah, none of the news is good. I mean, I hope this current one's having a good time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I did just see actually. I mean, as she would, she got to go on holiday with with Wills and Kate.
I mean, a couple times I did the nanny holiday thing. Went to Noosa. Not as fun as you would think.
I mean, I would think it would be shit house. Like you working, and if the parents want to go have like scuba dive, you got to look after the kids.
Yeah, if the parents want to do anything, like if they want to fucking go to yoga for 45 minutes, it's your problem.
Yeah.
Everything's your problem. But you do get paid. So.
You do get paid, and surely you can have a couple of sneaky cocktails.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I miss a sneaky cocktail. Not to sound like an alcoholic, but I do miss it.
Yeah, someone asked me that the other day, and to be honest, I haven't missed it at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you've got the vomits. You don't really miss it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't even think about it. I'm not trying to,
Yeah.
be some bloody pregnancy hero here, but it just doesn't even enter
Oh,
my
wow.
mind.
Wow. Good for you. Wow. You're one of those mothers.
And here we go. That's how it starts.
Oh. Well, look, thanks for listening, everybody. We're about to have a new line of kids merch, so get your mouth around that. No, don't. No. Let me. Oh no. Okay. Thanks for listening. We're having a new line of merch. It's going to be great. We're going to be back on the Insta stories all the fucking time. Lush. Our website still exists. Go to it. It's lkandrossy.com. You can send us an email at hello@lkandrossy.com. Yep, the end, right?
That's it. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy our trip to Royal Babyland this season.
Yeah, hooroo.
See you all of a sudden.